Yeah, so I know that your family had a big impact on, you know, letting you know about your function. So my question is, what do you feel your elders
Yeah.
provided for you or set up for you?
Well, what they created, in some way because it was family, but in other ways because it was their nature. We were talking about native people, native healers, right? Psychics, to put it directly, they were psychic people. And they were pretty relaxed beings. You know? I mean, they were Catholics, so they loved their novenas, their prayer vigils. They have these prayer vigils. And so they did a lot of praying. So they did a lot of practicing. Prayers, depending on what the prayer is, it could be like a mantra. A mantra could be like a koan. And so they can be involved in a certain kind of peaceful dharmic presence because of their practice, and which they were. They're also devoted to Jesus as master. So they had a heart openness for let's say, everybody, because they loved their Jesus, And he represented the living guru, which is what he was, the son of God in their terminology, but he was a living guru. He came here to help the people. He was there. He was in the field. He was on the street with them. So he was drinking and eating with them. See, and ministering what his higher self was moving him to say that was paradoxical to his, I guess you might say, his culture, or the culture of the time. But this was his purpose. And my elders felt that was kind of their purpose, and they recognized something in me when they tested me as a child. They would test the kids to find out who was like them, right? So they knew who to draw in and who to work with or who not to, And so I answered a lot of questions as a child, a grade school kid, 6 years old, 7 years old. And so that created a bond between us. And so I was accepted in the circle, and I became part of the circle. So my Aunt Gracie assumed responsibility for me in a certain way. And she watched out for me, and same with my Aunt Ruka. They were both very beautiful and sweet spirits towards me. And they were probably that way with everybody, but I was like their brother's son, and so there was a sweetness there that was also part of that. But yeah, the neutral openness, hearing everybody out. Everybody heard each other out. It was like the ground rule. Everybody needed to be heard. Everybody had an opportunity to speak. And if we had other kids there, and we were having a circle meeting, and said, "Well, what do you think? What do you feel?" Well, and so on. Okay, so it's more neutral, it's more open. And so that's what's happening here as well. Not because I'm a Buddhist, or because I'm a Catholic, or because I'm an occultist, or esotericist, or whatever. I think the healing thing is more native to human nature, say, not just to specific cultures, but all the cultures have their natives and their elders, and those people that already possess the calm of the spirit. And they should, if they're real spiritual, then they have that calmness. That calmness, that peaceful touch, so to speak, peaceful tongue. Yeah. And not to mean they're passive, because all of my people are very fierce, but they're very peaceful. Comment.